Good afternoon. My name is AJ Arguin, and today we'll be talking about online journalism, which includes websites such as Buzzfeed, Twitter, Facebook, Storify, and recently Snapchat introduced their new Discover page, but we'll go more into that later. So the purpose of this presentation is to show the importance of online journalism and how journalism has changed throughout the course of history. With that being said, the history of journalism include newspapers, radio, television, and then now social media. So we'll begin with newspapers. James Franklin, who is Benjamin Franklin's older brother, created the first newspaper in the United States. The newspaper was called the New England Courant, and it was the first issued on August 7th, 1721. The newspaper was created to address the public on issues that were occurring in the nation without influences from its own government, basically a check and balance. It became a political force in the campaign for American independence. After the American independence in 1776, the United States government enforced the freedom of the press, which can be found in the First Amendment of the Constitution. With the emergence of the penny press in the 1800s, American newspapers began to migrate western, which allowed rapid economic and demographic growth. With the rise of wired services, journalists from eastern cities covered the American Civil War, which had a profound effect on journalism and established the importance it had with the nation. It allowed people to, gain inside information on what was going on, which was never done before. So first we begin with yellow journalism, and we talk about these two guys, William Hearst of the New York Journal and Joseph Poulter of the New York World. William Hearst introduced comics, had columns, behind-the-scenes journalists, and was famous for photography and newspapers. On the other hand, Poulter hired Nellie Bly, who became the first American investigative journalism. He introduced color into newspaper and created the comic Yellow Kid Hogan's Alley, where we get the term yellow journalism. So yellow journalism, also known as yellow press, is a type of journalism that is more appealing to the eye rather than it has factual, well-researched stories. Sometimes these stories would be over-exaggerated or involve scandals. But both the New York Journal and the New York World were competing with each other, so using yellow journalism was a strategic approach to attract subscribers. So now we come to the term muckrackers. Muckrackers was a term coined by President Theodore Roosevelt, who had a personal connection with the media. Unlike yellow journalism that had exaggerated stories, muckraking was a style of journalism that was investigatively based and was also known as the watchdog journalism. So muckrackers would investigate political corruption, flaws with corporation and labor unions. So now we transition to radio. One man that comes to mind when you think about radio is Edward R. Murrow. So Edward R. Murrow was an American broadcast journalism who was famously known to broadcast live events or news updates from World War II. The reason why radio became so popular among the nation was because Murrow added dramatic emphasis to events, especially when it came to World War II, and had a couple of catchy phrases that America fell in love with. So from radio, we transition to television. So when television was first introduced, most experts believed that it wasn't going to be successful due to the nation's comfort with radio. The event that first captured the nation to television was the assassination of John F. Kennedy in downtown Dallas, Texas. Within 24 hours, coverage after the assassination, people turned into television to watch updates of the president, to see, what was going on, and to see the panic within the nation. The major difference from radio to television was visuals and live broadcasting. In other words, what radio did to newspapers put a voice to the words, television put a face to the voice. Another major event that, captured the audience was September 11th. The attacks on the World Trade Center really brought people together. It had live coverage, especially being in New York where all the media, giants are located. So from television, we go to the rise of the digital age. So we go with the emergence of social media. One of the first social media sites, and I believe it's the first social media site, is called Friendster. Friendster launched in 2002 and was considered the first social media site of its kind with over 1 million users. It was the top social media site until April 2004 when MySpace took over. MySpace originally launched in 2003, but it was the first social media site that had reached 10 million plus users. So with that being said, we go to the advances in technology, especially with smartphones and tablets. Since the invention of the Apple iPhone in June 2007, technology has taken a turn and has progressed quickly. From news on your laptop, desktop, tablets, and smartphones, journalism has changed drastically and has enabled everyone to contribute videos, photos, and news stories up to their personal pages. So now, with that being said, we transition to ambient journalism. So social media is an online-based tool that allows connectivity with people from all over the world, that enables users to share, upload, and exchange information, ideas, photos, videos, and even news events. With the combination of modern technology, social media, information and news are being transmitted at a rapid pace, and it allows people to comment and add their perspective on issue. So now, that being said, we go into what online journalism is. Online journalism can be found in these major sites and major sites all over the web, but these are some of the biggest major sites. We have Facebook, Twitter, Buzzfeed, Storify, Snapchat. So what is trending? So one of the biggest things that differentiates online journalism from newspapers, radio, and television is that we can actually search for what is trending. So we use hashtags, and these hashtags allows us to search for things that are trending right now or what people are talking about. So this, what you see on the screen, is located on the right side of the Facebook page, and it was what's trending as of yesterday, April 18th, 2015. So they were talking about David Beckham, the Bulls versus Milwaukee Bucks, a playoff series. And then we also go to Twitter, which Twitter has some trends, which they had the NHL draft lottery, Anthony Davis, Derrick Rose, Aaron Brooks, the Warriors. So as you can see, that little hashtag combined with whatever phrase or word allows you to search for what is trending today. So now we go to Facebook. So Facebook launched again in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg and fellow Harvard students. It has 1.39 billion monthly active users as of February 2015. So over 1 billion people in the world are on Facebook at any given time. So 1.9 billion users are actually using their mobile phones or tablets. So they're getting their information on the go. So 16 million business profiles have been created as of May 2013. And a lot of the users include CNN, Fox News, local TV stations. And every minute, 293,000 statuses and 136,000 pictures are posted. So now let's look at some of the pros and cons of Facebook. Pros: no limits to information, integration with other apps, news outlets, plethora of news outlets, media company profiles, multiple country of languages, mobile and tablet capability, and allows users to share content. Some of the cons: might be not suitable for all ages, violent or disturbing content, vulgar languages on comments, and leaked information. So now let's go to Twitter. So Twitter was launched in 2006 by Jack Dorsey and others. 288 million monthly active users as of April of 2015. 500 million tweets are sent per day. 80% of usage comes from mobile devices, and 77% of accounts are located outside the United States. Which, that being said, it allows hyperlinks to websites, photos, videos, and etc. So let's look at some of the pros and cons of Twitter. Instant updates, hyperlinks to credible sites, independent journalism, which you can get verified by Twitter to be well known. That way it differentiates you from other fake accounts. Retweets, instant shares from credible sources. Live tweeting. So this is very big. So if you're in an event, you can live tweet quotes, you can, phrases, pictures, videos instantly without having to sit down and write in your computer and think about what you have to say. It adds photos, videos without taking up characters, because Twitter now created their own hyperlink, which shortens the link itself. That way it doesn't take up too much characters. So now let's look at the cons. So some of the information could get lost in the live Twitter feed. It won't let you edit after posting. There could be some grammatical errors. And of course, you're going to have your Twitter trolls. So now let's look at Buzzfeed. Buzzfeed was founded in 2006 and is an American internet news media company. Buzzfeed is famously known as the new media company of the social age. The site is divided into 28 sections, which include news, buzz, live, entertainment, sports, style, tech, world, and much more. So this is some of the statistics on Buzzfeed. If you can see, this is just a small sample of what they use. This is from March 22nd all the way to April 12th. So if you can see, the dark blue area is mobile use, while the light blue area is just online use. So from that span, 149 million people have visited their have gone to their website to see for information. Now, total visits from those 149 million people, it equal to almost over 500 million visits using both web and online. Now we go to the pros and cons of BuzzFeed. Some of the pros include they have multiple categories, strictly online news content, which does include mobile and tablet accessibility, millions of active users, no restrictions on news stories. Some of the cons is that it's only targeted to a certain niche market, a certain demographic, which would be, I guess, college students or someone between the ages of 18 to about 35. Another con is that it differs from the New York Times, the LA Times, and big news sites in the sense of where it doesn't have the professional feel to it. It's very scattered, their website. If you've been there, you would understand. So now we go to Storify. So Storify is a social network site that allows users to create stories and or timelines. Keyword there, users. So Storify launched in 2010, but was not available to the public until 2011. There are users from 7 countries worldwide, not an exact number. Social networks that allows users to create stories using several social media sources. Some of these sources include Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the Google search engine, Flickr, and YouTube. So some of the pros and cons about Storify. Storify, the integration with Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Flickr, and Google makes it a lot easier to grab, stories, pictures, posts from different social media sites to create one story. It allows users, again, to create stories. Keyword there, users, not professional journalism. Major organizational users. So there's users such as, the Spurs. I know the San Antonio Spurs have one. The Texans have one. I'm not sure if CNN and them have one, but I'm sure eventually they will jump on the bandwagon. So the thing about Storify, it's easy to use. It's a drag and drop concept design. Some of the cons that there's no professional journalism. So again, when you have users creating stories, there's no journalism structure there. And there's a small number of professional users, again. And not a worldwide social network. It's very limited. Again, there was only 7 countries worldwide that have access to Storify. So now we go to Snapchat. So Snapchat launched in September 2011. It's a phone messaging app mainly for photos, videos, and chat. When I said earlier that Snapchat revealed its new Discover page in early 2015, so this is the Discover page on the side of the presentation. As you can see, it includes news outlets such as CNN, Comedy Central, The Cosmopolitan, The Daily Mail, ESPN, The Food Network, People, Vice, Yahoo News, and Warner Music. So some of the pros and cons of Snapchat. Some of the pros is Discover updates every 24 hours. Multiple range of news sources, so it has something for everyone. Video and news style writing, so you can find small segments of videos, and they also have professional journalism writing in some of the stories. It's available in 16 languages, which include English, Arabic, Norwegian, Dutch, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Chinese, Spanish, and Sweden. The cons include it's only used for social media purposes, so just to send photos, send pictures, even just to chat. There's only about 5 to 7 stories per category, so it kind of limits you on that, but it does choose the top 5 to 7 stories per category. It only updates once a day, so just unlike Twitter and Facebook where it's a constant update, Snapchat only updates once every 24 hours. So this concludes the end of my presentation for online journalism, but if you are interested to find out about more other online news apps, there's apps such as CNN, Circa, Yahoo News, Fox News, Flipboard, and USA Today. So if you have any questions or any comments, please go ahead and comment below, and I will see you later.